Welcome back to Uncut with KJH. I'm going to do a mini video this morning all about, it might actually not be this morning when I post this, so whatever time it is where you are, hi. I'm going to do a contouring video on how I would contour my face just to give it a little bit more structure. Currently, I'm wearing a little bit of concealer, a little bit of blush, and a lot of highlighter. There's a hair on my face from my brushes and it's driving me insane. Okay, contour. This is Danessa Myricks Fair 1. I'm just going to scrape a little out with a spatula, aka a tweezer. There's literally a hair on my face and it's really giving me a hard time. The thing that I like about this is the color. It's a nice cool toned contour shade. I have a double-ended brush here, the IT Cosmetics one. I really like this brush actually for this because this small side allows for you to precisely deposit the pigment around. I'm just going to kind of start on any of the areas where I just want a little bit more sort of sculpted element. This is a great shade for people that often find that contour products are too dark or too warm. Danessa makes like a really great shade assortment in these that go nice and deep or nice and fair. So we're just gonna kind of pop this on in all the areas that I want shadows to appear and just sort of get it on. The less for me in this product is more because it's quite cool for me. If you're fairer, it will probably be even better. If you're warmer, it probably won't work and you probably need to go for one of the other shades. So then with the other side of the brush, I'm kind of just like pressing it in to blend the product so that it disappears and then just becomes a shadow. Contour does make you look older sometimes because it is giving you more of a sunken in sort of silhouette to the face. The more sort of youthful, the more sort of full and round the face, the more youthful. But sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of a sculpt depending on what it is that you're doing or where you're going. And yeah, just blending it in. Pressing quite light. Don't ever feel like you need to do any of this because you'll actually probably be taking the product off as you're applying it. So now I'm going to take it a little bit further and just apply a touch more and just blend that in and keep going until I get kind of where I want to be. So to contrast contour, you highlight, right? However, you don't need to. It's just, you know, with makeup, you're always playing with shadows and light. I'm just going to blend into the brow there. I went for a slim brow today because I did a Pamela Anderson tutorial and the brows were inspired by. So when you are, again, when you're doing contouring, you want to contrast the contour with light, but if you don't, that's okay. I'm going to show you how I would though. I would literally just take a lighter concealer, something that's a tiny bit lighter than my complexion. This is 201 from Shiseido Synchro Skin. And I'm just going to pop it on in all of the areas where I didn't contour. And actually it allows for you to create that nice contrast. I will not use that to blend this in with because obviously it's got the taupe color inside. I'm going to use another brush that's clean. And I'm just going to spin the product into a perfect blend and buff it in until it's seamless. The cool thing about this is now what's left in this brush would actually be a great little buffer to go over the contour if you feel like it's a little too much. Okay, so bringing that into there. I always like use a medium-sized, almost like large eyeshadow brush to blend my concealer. I find that it just gives me the most control. And the smaller the brush, the more sort of you can get into certain areas. I'm not a nose contour person. I actually don't even really contour clients' nose because I just don't love the look of too many sort of shadows. I like just shadows naturally where they would appear and enhancing them instead of trying to carve out a whole new shape. I think it's nice to honor the shape of, you know, the face that you have. And then just blending that in. And another way to make this contrast and pop a little bit more is with powder. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush brightening flawless for something. Everything's flawless with Tilbury. Little brush, and I'm just going to carve a little bit more contrast by going right underneath that contour line. Do you see the way it just pops it out a little bit more? And then just on the jaw, just to make sure it's not too sort of shadowy. A little bit in there and down under the eyes, up into the temples. And that's pretty much kind of the basics of contouring. I will actually just take a little bit of, I'm going to take this across my lid as well. I will take a little bit of this around the mouth because I really like it on the lip. So actually I've already got some on the back of my hand. I'm just going to take the edge of this brush and just pop the bottom lip. Do you see how that makes the bottom lip look a little bit more pouty? The same here on the top lip. And then you would finish with whatever kind of lip color that you want. You don't want to bring this too high up here. You want it to kind of border the lip edge and the sort of white sort of halo that we have around the lip. I'm just going to use a little bit of a color. This is the Blush from Mitchell in Rosy Posy. I'm just going to add that just to make it not look so beige. I think that's really it. Just a quick and easy one. You could put powder over all of this if you wanted to. You can also put a little bit of bronzer over everything if you wanted to warm everything up, but I actually think it looks quite good. And that is it. Pop any questions below. If you find this helpful, feel free to share it with a friend. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do. And you will be notified of more videos on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.